What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Expert Bike Giveaway Series. Today we're working on the fantastically beautiful Yamaha R1. We're going to be installing a couple key go fast bits, not doing an exhaust just yet, but we're going to be doing gas tank sliders, a new windscreen, a tail tidy, and what's our last one, Spike?
We're going to be doing some fork sliders as well, so.
That's right. Let's get started. So in case you guys have been living under a rock, this is our giveaway Yamaha R1. Hit the link down below, go to yammie.co or yammiemerch.com and find out how you can get entered to win. But actually, let's head over there really quick and see about these other giveaway bikes. So, as you guys might know, we are actually giving away these motorcycles as well, and time is running out. June 7th, 2020 is the last day to win either our KTM Duke 390, this XSR 700, or this Triumph Street Triple right here. So go to yammiemerch.com, use the code YAM10, get yourself 10% off and 2x entries to win. You're not gonna wanna miss it. Let's get back to that R1. So the astute among you might have already noticed we put some tank grips on this bike, and that's because it was actually getting really tough to ride it without sliding off of it. So we already went ahead and put these beautiful tech specs. I've used these on pretty much every bike that I've ever owned. Very, very nice. And Spite, actually that's related to the other mod we're doing, which is these bad boys, right?
Yeah, so we have here these carbon fiber gas tank covers, and actually we have another one that's gonna go right here. But they go basically right there, and the idea is if you drop the bike, it'll help protect the gas tank, which is a very expensive replacement. We will have to peel the tech spec off and figure out how to get this underneath it, because you want the carbon fiber being right up against the gas tank for extra support. And then we've got these guys here, which are gonna sit right there on that wing, looking very sexy.
Yeah, this is actually a really great mod because I actually run these on my track bike, and yeah, it saved my gas tank from the last low side that I had from it. So very, very helpful track day mod. But another helpful track day mod is this. We're gonna be putting on a new windscreen on our R1. This is a Puge windscreen. And the reason that you'd want to do one of these for track day riding is because this actually increases the area under the bubble right here, as we call it, and this allows you to tuck in and get a little bit more aerodynamic when you're going down the back straights. For street riding, kind of just an aesthetic mod. This looks a little bit cooler, nice and tinted, kind of cleans up the front end a little bit here, makes it look a little bit less stock, if that's what you're going for. And yeah, looking pretty good. Also, shout out to Motivation USA for giving us all these parts today. Nate over there is a really great guy, and if you're looking for any parts for your Ducati or your Triumph or your R1s, any high spec bike, they got you covered, and thanks again for sending us out these parts, Nate, I appreciate it. There's one more mod, right?
Actually, we've got two.
Two?
Well, three if you count spools, which I really don't. But we do have today an Evotech tail tidy, because we're at the Yam and Spite tail tidy shop here. So this is going to delete this big chunky wing here and give us a really nice clean look on the tail, which this bike deserves.
Yes.
And to finish out our full suite of protection here, we do have axle sliders, both front and rear. So it'll be a really nice way to kind of just complete the package on this bike.
Definitely. Let's jump into it.
This is awesome right here, just as a side note. When I did the windscreen on my Interceptor, it was a grueling, painful process because you had to pull fairings off from underneath, because unlike this, which is designed to be super lightweight, you actually can't access the underside of the windscreen without tearing the whole front of the bike apart. It's a giant pain in the ass. This is way simpler.
Verified through science, 28% more efficient. Now when you're doing highway pulls, you can be a little bit faster. Alrighty guys, we just finished installing the windscreen. You can see it has a much more aggressive profile right here to dissipate that air and get you more in the bubble right here. It's got a nice little smoke to it as well. It's looking clean. Let's move on to our next mod. All right guys, so we just finished putting on these carbon gas tank sliders right here. And like we mentioned, one of the big reasons why you want to do that is because it's a whole lot cheaper to replace a set of these than it is an actual gas tank. And for this bike in particular, right up here, this is actually all plastic. So even if you were to go down, you can more easily replace this than this metal piece right here. So we put these on. Actually, it interfered a little bit with our tank grips right here, but what we had to do was just peel them back, put this on, and then put these on top of them. So no big deal. I think it's looking pretty sharp and pretty aggressive now, kind of fits with the whole ethos of the motorcycle. We also put on the front fork sliders as well, as you guys saw, super easy install. You just slide them right through the axle, tighten them up, good to go. Great protection for your forks, especially if you go down. And yeah, this bike is looking pretty clean. Now we're working on the tail tidy section, a classic mod to do to any sport bike. Kind of cleans up the rear end, makes it a little bit nicer, and we're just gonna keep rolling from there.
So a small speed bump in the tail tidy here. We actually need to, if we're preserving the stock signals, which we are, cut the wire right here and run it through this big hole right there. So if this is the top of the bike right here where it meets the tail, the light will sit like so and the license plate will sit here. Now I have to cut it because there ain't no getting that big square plug through that little round hole. So a soldering we go. So normally I'd say don't use the butt connectors, but why don't we do it today just for and giggles? Oh wait, nope. A little bit of a speed bump here in the license plate light, which has actually become kind of a recurring problem for us on some of these tail tidies.
It has.
The Evotech tail tidy here, the connection that it gave us is actually reversed from the harness pins, right? So the positive and negative sides are on different sides. Normally, my understanding is it would just go, you know, the color of the wire doesn't make any difference, but who knows. I did just test this with a 9-volt, and it does work. So theoretically, I should just be able to tie power directly to this and have it go. So what we're gonna do is we are going to, I'm gonna first test this license plate light, make sure everything's working on the bike, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop this end off of the stock license plate light and go from there. Finally have this all together. It's taken me the better part of like, I don't know, an hour and a half to do. You'll notice this is the stock license plate light. It is a little bit bigger, but honestly I think it looks a little bit better than the kind of round Evotech one, and this I've confirmed still works with the harness. So I just figured, you know what, let's modify the bracket to accept this. We had to leave a little bit of space with washers here, so it's not exactly flush. It wasn't gonna be flush anyway, but it's all tied up here. Now we just need to screw it all together, plumb it back up, and we'll be good to go.
Alrighty everybody, after a bit of a battle with the tail tidy, it is now installed and looking fresh. Spite, real battle, huh?
Yeah, it all comes down to that tail light. This is not the first tail tidy that has had a wonky license plate light. So did a little bit of modification to the bracket. It was a lot more effort than I thought it was gonna be. But it still looks pretty darn good. Certainly a lot smaller than that big plastic hunk of junk that was sitting on the back of it earlier.
Yep, so this is our stock system, guys. That's how it used to look, this big, ugly plastic piece here with even some aerodynamics, which is kind of interesting. And now we've got this nice, tidy little Evotech system. So we got that, new fork sliders, spools, protection up here, tank grips, new windscreen. This thing is looking pretty good. Now, how you doing, partner? This video's over, but you click on this one right over here. You keep watching yourself some Yammie Noob. Maybe I bend my Busa on this one. Maybe I'll give you some other funny memes or something like that. You might not know if you watch the video, so watch the video now, all right?